will we see that tonight? He's scored just 10 points or fewer in 4 straight games. That has to change for the Sixers. Coming up tonight, Nuggets, Blazers post-game reaction. Also a breakdown of Game 6 here with the Sixers and Raptors. Canes, Bruins, and Barry Melrose on Game 1, that is, with SVP tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern. Sage, I got to tell you, the first quarter is going to decide a lot of things in this environment, because if the Sixers don't start off strong, we don't see a lot from Joel Embiid. This place is going to be quiet.
Toronto have won 4 straight when having a chance to clinch the series. We'll see what happens in Philly. Thanks, Kevin. Good luck.
Oh, he sucks. I know I gotta do a better job for us to win.
I'm on the mission. I'm on the mission.
Leonard makes his move. Oh, that's a man's jam! Oh, Murray.
I think he's licking his chops there.
Cause you may come up
We don't feel like we've played our best basketball yet. With our backs against the wall, we don't really have a choice.
I'm on the mission.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew.
And welcome inside Studio H here in LA. Chauncey Billups, Jalen
Big shot. But
Paul Pierce, and 4-time All-Star and extremely recent Laker, Rajon Rondo. How timely of you to be here today, Rajon. That was good. My name is Michelle Beadle. We're going to get to all things Laker because we're going to have a lot to talk about today. But, of course, there's some basketball. First round, some may say it was a little short on the drama. The second round, however, worth the price of admission. 2 Game 6s on the channel tonight. We're going to go wild on Raptors, Sixers, and Nuggets, Blazers. But first, good news in the Bay. The Warriors held off the Rockets in Game 5. Extremely bad news. 2-time reigning Finals MVP Kevin Durant forced out of the game in the third with a calf strain. Woj first reported he will be reevaluated next week after Games 6 and 7. And lo and behold, who's joining us right now? I believe it was supposed to be Woj that was joining us right now, but there he is. Yeah, tell us what you have, Mr. Woj, on Kevin Durant, the latest anyways.
Michelle, Kevin Durant did not accompany the Warriors to Houston for Game 6, and he would not play in a Game 7. But there's optimism around the Warriors that if Golden State was able to beat Houston, win one more game in this series in advance, that he'd be back early in the next series. They're going to reevaluate him next week. But given the sense around that injury and the moments after it happened, this couldn't have turned out any better for Golden State, even though they won't have him the rest of this conference semifinal.
Better than, I think, a lot of people had thought when it initially happened. Woj, stick around, hydrate. We're going to come back to you in a little bit to talk all things Lakers. But to concentrate on Durant right now, he'd averaged 45 minutes a game in the series. Is it possible that he was pushed too hard?
I mean, 45, that's a lot. That's a lot of minutes. I mean, we all know that. I mean, especially in the playoffs, it's a lot of the intensity is just different. But as a Warrior, as a player, no pun intended, like you lay it all on the line, and they needed every single bucket that he put out the entire series. So, yeah, possibly, but a tough-minded player is not going to think so.
I think they did. I think they overworked them. I mean, that has a lot to do with their lack of depth. They lost Boogie. You know, this guy has so much to carry for the Golden State Warriors, or he doesn't have to, but he has been. So, you know, when you combine all those minutes, the flights, you know, you don't get the proper rest in your own bed. I mean, things can happen. I mean, you got to be lucky also. I mean, that's just a buildup of work. I mean, it can happen to anybody, though.
Sure.
It can happen to anybody. So I just think they didn't use the proper load management with him.
You
serious?
still really using load management?
Load management. It's all season we've talked about that. If you're Steph Curry right now, what are you thinking? What does it do to him?
It's time to step up. It's time to be the old Steph Curry. Although we've known the past couple seasons when he didn't have Durant. So him and Clay have to step up, and I expect Clay to go into this game like he did against OKC a couple years back, Game 6. And I think he dropped 46 that game. So I won't underestimate him at all.
The old Steph Curry, I like that.
This is a window opportunity for Houston, though.
It is.
I'm telling you.
But one of the happiest diagnoses was that it wasn't an Achilles for KD. For the league, for his team, obviously, and for their opportunity to advance.
But we ain't about to act like he played too many minutes.
No.
Don't bring up load management.
saying, man.
No, we not doing that.
You wouldn't have said, take me out, dog.
No.
You wouldn't have said, take me out.
Injuries happen in the game of basketball. He unfortunately got hurt on a non-contact injury.
I mean, you can't predict the injury. You can't predict the injury, but this is opportunity for Houston, and I think Houston is going to advance. Like I said, you have to be good and you have to be lucky. Luck was on the Warriors side last year when CP got hurt. Luck is going to be on Houston's side because if they don't advance, this is a major disappointment for the Houston Rockets right now without Kevin Durant.
Well, they missed a big opportunity yesterday, so it didn't just start. When dude went down, that's when they should have turned it on. They could have had a closeout game at home tomorrow. That was big.
Are you surprised they didn't?
Houston lost. They missed their window.
I was surprised because I just feel like when KD's down, you can game plan differently. You can trap Steph now. You can trap blitz and blitz pin downs and stuff with Clay. Where you can't do that with KD on the floor. Right. They never made an adjustment in that game yesterday.
They missed their opportunity. KD go down, you got to win that game.
That's blood in the water.
James Harden only, took one shot the last 8 minutes?
Yeah, that was crazy.
He has the highest usage of any player that's...
What Ali symbolized for me is that you have to do what you believe in.
Probably ever played the game. You got to get him the ball and try to win that game. I think they take 6, but they lose in 7.
So we get 7
because
on
of what
that
you
side?
said. He goes back to being the old Steph.
Not every series went 7. Let's talk Celtics, shall we?
Let's
beaten
talk
the Bucks
Celtics.
by
Let's talk
22
Celtics.
in Game 1. I remember that. Boston Celtics were overwhelmed in 4 straight. Giannis, 28 points over the 5 games in a game for their playoff lives last night. Kyrie Irving, who
Giannis.
free agency on the 1st of July, shot 30% from the floor in that series. We're going to talk a little more on Kyrie in a moment, but Paul, you said that series was over after
Greek,
game.
I did say it was over.
He was
I
right.
did say the Greek Freak was balling, but I mean,
do you remember what you said exactly?
I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Truthfully, I mean, I knew Greek Freak was gonna kill.
Has he said one word right yet?
Y'all want to roll the tape? I was right. Roll the tape. Roll the tape. I was
We have
right.
tape to roll?
Oh, really?
As a team, I don't know where Boston goes from here because
Whoa. So is this over?
No, listen. I think it's over. When I watched this today, if Kyrie doesn't have a monster game and somebody else besides him doesn't step up, Milwaukee is just going to out-talent them. As a coaching staff, do I say, okay, do we focus our concentration on Giannis? Because now Bledsoe can step up. Guys like Chris Middleton can step up. George Hill and Connaughton. And that's why the Bucks are dangerous. They just have more. I told you Milwaukee was going to do it.
Okay, that's
I told
fair.
you the series
we got a gift for you.
I told you the series was over.
Bucks.
We got the tape right
that's
here.
good.
No, the
We
Bucks
got the
want you to
tape
know
right here.
there are no hard feelings. So
We got the tape.
Milwaukee Bucks
this
sent you
is from the
these.
Bucks.
They say they have the
I
best
said that that's
pretzels
what
in the
they was
league.
going to do. You don't see the tape?
What I heard last night
Give
was
him
a
his
lot of
gift.
people
You
chanting.
didn't hear that?
Carb up.
I don't know what this is.
Maybe if
That's
the
from
will
the
be
Milwaukee
quiet.
Bucks.
Oh, you
The
get
Celtics
these.
ain't won a game since he said that.
They have a little bit of
The
salt
Bucks.
on them
Okay.
as well.
And also you're sharing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just
don't
what
eat
are these? What are these called?
Salty pretzels.
Bavarian style pretzels.
I don't eat pretzel.
Okay.
Is this where they? I mean, Milwaukee is known for beer. I don't eat pretzel.
What do you think you eat with beer? You have a pretzel.
Oh, that's the thing. That's the thing there.
That's what you do at games.
God,
I
if
don't
we
know.
go to
I don't
Milwaukee
know.
for the
I don't
final,
know.
Hall of
Who
Fame.
travels to Milwaukee? Who goes there to hang
Oh,
out?
no, don't.
Oh, here you go.
Come on now.
Ah, here he goes.
One of my
boy.
favorite shows started in
I don't
Milwaukee.
hang out there.
Laverne and Shirley.
all kidding
You're going to be
aside,
hanging out there in June, buddy.
if the
Yeah.
bosses are
We gonna
listening,
be there.
Oh, now you on the
Paul's gonna need
bandwagon.
his own
Bandwagon.
Now you on the Milwaukee bandwagon.
Bandwagon?
Man, these
been on
guys
the
change
bandwagon.
every week, though.
No, he's been on it.
They change every week.
No, Chauncey's been on it.
Boy.
They change every week. One week they with the Celtics,
All
then
pretty-
now they with Milwaukee.
The only
I
good
can't with
news,
y'all. I
if
can't
there
with y'all.
can be, is that you're not the only person that took some heat over this, because you're not the only one that said something. Marcus Smart had his exit interview. He also spoke on it.
There's reports about Kyrie's leadership that it really killed the chemistry of this team. What can you say about that?